documentation as well, much more accurate. I'll just, another important aspect also within food safety that we also touched upon yesterday, that's about the sensor, that's also more documentation here about this type of product sensor here. But I think it just only this is that some of the things that I have mentioned here before. I just want to say, okay, this is what we say is here, we have the control of the evaporator, this is the controller of the evaporator. Normally we say, okay, let's also get some kind of product sensor separate from the control. So we optimize food safety and energy saving combined, okay? That's the idea. But I also want to adhere to draw the attention of this case cleaning issue. We also have provided means to record all those type of issues, not only record temperature, also record, what is the cleaning. Case cleaning is also an issue, important issue within hygiene. I think we also here have that possibility. We have within our system the possibility to use that as another means to protect the hygiene of the store. Just that's an overview, quick overview. I just want to just stop in a couple of minutes here. Just to see, this type of, when we talked about also yesterday, about data, I don't know who mentioned that, but there was a lot of also comments about how the data should be handled. We normally provide, with all this type of system, a lot of information, a lot of bad information, and if that is presented as such, just without any better organization or better structure, it's almost impossible to read it or to recognize. I think it's important that we always know the report, the information is presented in a very structured way, so you are really presenting management information or executive information for you to make the right decision. In the case of for the health inspectors, I think it's also important that they get also the information so they can have in one shot whether the store is performing. This, for instance, is one of the examples of reports for HACCP that we provide, where you can really see immediately here. You can see this is the whole store, that's the different evaporators, or the different display cases and cold rooms. And that's actually the one-day data, where you have in just one shot with color code, you can immediately recognize whether there's any of the display cases or cold rooms which are violating the setting, okay, of the different units. Those type of report that's also combined with what we call also system where you can really compare energy, do a lot of benchmarking between the stores. You can also apply a lot of intelligence or knowledge. Sometimes information is important. The challenge of the information is to convert that information into knowledge. The more data analysis that you make, the more that you revitalize all the data that you have and present it in a nice format, the better actually for the management. And that's where we are working a lot on that. This is something that we are still trying to enhance in the conversation with you, and as for us it's a challenge. But this is actually the way we are thinking and the way this type of data management tools can help the store operations. Maintenance services, as you can see, reliability, we have to do maintenance services. In terms of maintenance services, we also provide this type of tools that enhance those operations. So it actually makes you reduce also costs. Basically, because you have information at your fingertips, and at the same time, you have this possibility of early alert. So that gives you the possibility for one-time fix, also give you the chance to be more proactive from the protocols that you provide, you carry out with services, and as I mentioned before, this effective benchmarking that you can do with intelligent data analysis. And this is all about, the values always of measuring and monitoring within the store are all provided here. This is quite illustrative of the way the things, and that is actually touching also upon the issue we discussed yesterday about designing. When you really close the cycle, you measure, you monitor, improve or implement, optimize, and then maintain. This is the whole cycle, really. It should be the whole cycle of the industry. Just to make sure that we measure, we monitor, we know what is going on, we understand what is going on, then we apply, improve and optimize what can be optimized, and then also we try to maintain it in the long run. But that's also another challenge. It's not only that we are good today, it's that we can keep that same later on, and that food safety set up also later on. Yes, I will just finish with, I'm not going into detail here. This is also, for us, what is important also to secure the first cost investment. We also, scalability is also important for us. So you are actually only paying for we don't have a solution only for all types of stores. We have a solution for the different type of stores. And that's for you, it's important in terms of scalability and profitability. When we talk about assessing our values here, there's actually a lot of values that you can get out of solutions in terms of food loss and energy saving. This is an example, that actually can be applied or can be analyzed based on each local conditions. But that's important. Analysis always to be done when it comes to budget. Is to say, okay, I work from a retailer. We also discussed yesterday about the restriction constraints sometimes in energy saving equipment having the budget analysis of the stores of the retailers. And that's to me, it's important that when everything is decided, energy saving as well as food safety as well as training, we really really have to free from the issue of cost and making them more on the issue of investment. I think for me, training, like energy saving equipment, like food safety, I think it's an investment for you more than actually a cost. The companies also from this financial aspect, they also need to recognize all this analysis, when the analysis is made rough, and you really analyze exactly all the different savings you can get, you can immediately recognize that actually you are having quite an investment when you are investing in this type of things. And as we said yesterday, I think this type of solution can easily get a payback time no longer than 3 years. Okay, when you are doing things like that. So I think it's worthwhile to some extent. This is quite a nice experiment. You're taking into consideration a lifetime of the refrigeration plan that could be 10, 15 years, actually having a payback of no longer than 3 years, adjusted according to this type of values assessment that can be done very specifically for every type of store. I think it's quite interesting and attractive piece of cake. That's what and then I just want to finish with just a little bit of our evidence. Here we are. Yeah, that's the last one here. I just want to say, okay, this food affordability is something that really the evidence, or the backup that we have in this is that today we have of this type of solution, what we call adaptive solutions, we have today in the market more than 50,000 installations with this type of issues, with this type of solutions, and that's we roughly can estimate that the amount of energy that is being saved by those type of installations, as an example, the this type of solution is roughly around 5 billion kilowatt hours. Okay? So gentlemen, thank you for your attention. I don't know whether it's
We have about 2 minutes for questions. If anyone has a question.
Yeah, Mr. Prakash here. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Prakash from Carrier Transport. You had mentioned about the measuring accuracy. I think it was EN 441-31. Now, here in this market, there's usually a requirement for calibration on a regular interval. So how was that part taken care of?
That's part actually of the service. This is what is required also within Europe. We also have a norms called EN 13486, which is also required. This is related to calibration, and that's more of a contracting possibility. We provide. The only thing is that we have. These are the means you have for measuring temperature. Then you have to go there for doing the calibration. It normally has to be done every, I don't know, what is the exact rule here. In Europe is every 2 years. 1 year, okay. You have to calibrate all the different equipment you have for the one that I use for thermometers and recording devices. And that's part of the contracting network, our service network, the one doing this type of calibration. We provide to those type of also means or knowledge about how that should be done.
Any more questions?
Morning. Have you done any installations in the UAE for the buildings?
Yes. Yeah, we have customers here, they can talk, they can can tell you, different installation we have already made, and we have quite a number of installations already here in the university.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, to give the answer for father and cousin, I'm just curious how in Europe, with the house of all the little things, a lot of time you can go to the existing installation and then enhance it, correct? And is that very common in Europe? Or how do you see doing this?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is that when it's an issue with the legacy, especially for safety, because in order to update actually some of the installation, there has been a lot of retrofitting lately. In order to update that, that's what has been actually lately in Europe, a lot of activity towards updating and enhancing equipment and infrastructure to fulfill those legislations. Sometimes it's easy, but depending on the what type of products the legacy, because sometimes we can actually apply some type of calibration, additional calibration to the existing equipment, as you mentioned, and then you can certificate that as a hazard. But it's true that sometimes the legacy equipment will give you a problem, and then you have to retrofit the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mohammed Ibrahim. Is the web enabled monitoring software it's online monitoring or only reporting? And is as a basic feature or it is something extra equipment you need to put into the system?
Whether it's on the web, I mean, whether it's online, this hazard, for instance, that type of example I saw here. This is the report we're using of temperatures that are being logged. We have equipment that is online. But you can also set up some trends to see whether how the temperature at that time is being controlled. But this one, that type of report, is actually is a report that you make out of the data that you have collected firstly. So you have logged those data and then you present it back. That's actually, as we said, it's a web-based software possibility, so you can have access to what is tested. That was the first question. The second one.
It is a basic feature or it is something extra equipment that you can
It's a basic feature of the tool. You provide the more control. You can have the three levels. You can have only the infrastructure in the store. You can have only the store, what we call the store manager, which is the unit. The store is a unit that is in the store where you have all the different information. In that unit, you also get information about the hazard. The only thing when you have the software on top, the remote software, that's the basic feature of that remote software. The remote software is something that it gives you the possibility to work a bit more on this data management and also presentation, so you have a better overview of the data. But it's, you say basic, I would say yes, it's basic of this remote control. So,
Any further questions? Okay, I have to Is your presentation loaded on CBI?
so yes, it's loaded there.
Okay. Anyone who can be added, we can distribute it if anyone is interested.
Sure.
Secondly, you mentioned about 3 years payback. Is it on the total cost of the controls or the difference between standard controls and your probably more cost?
That's the potential when you're talking about the standard one versus any saving equipment.
So it's
The reference, exactly, it's exactly the
Can we request further details on case cleaning for HACCP? You
Yes.
mentioned about case cleaning and HACCP documentation via software. Are those available to consultants and end users?
Yes.
What is the channel for us to receive something like that?
We already have, I think we have a branch office here in Dubai, Mr. Singh.
Okay.
I should provide you all that information.
Okay.
Available for that.
So we can get it.
Sure.
Okay. The last thing was on the defrosting issue, but there is no time for it. This is a technical debate. If we have time, we can talk about it.
Yeah, that's a lot exactly. Not only in terms of defrostment, but also the way, because we have actually some pattern on the defrost, the way we made the defrost in the evaporators, because we're also able to do kind of what we call intelligent defrost also or any